Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
Good evening once again, folks. How are we? Hope everyone's well out there. Just another, crazy week, guys, right? LA, there's a curfew out now. Some shit going down over there, guys. Something we don't want here. All right, now we got this reporter who got shot over there with a rubber bullet. Actually, they're gonna prosecute the cop that shot the bullet. So maybe we should find out which cop shot the bullets down here in Melbourne and prosecute them. Like the reporter gets shot, like we all get shot. It doesn't matter, but the reporter gets shot. They want to charge the cop. I don't know, guys, but I'll tell you what. So this big, it's a road traffic authority, I think, guys. Scam, huge, man, millions and millions and millions, big bust, another one. All this shit going down out there, and we're exposing it all because that's what we're here for. So another night of news. We got Mick on from Cully Bay. I'll bring him in 2 secs. Just what's going around the track, guys. Well, South Australia, they think that Year 9 students should be starting to discuss whether the trade wife movement is good for women. Year 9, trade wife, And I just, Oh, mate, they don't give up, these guys. I tell you, 34 million. Newson and that have been caught. 34 million bucks. I mentioned it last night of the show, I think. Getting these riots going, guys. Like, big money, mate. Look, as this coal shutdown comes, guys, we got businesses shut down everywhere. It is not good. We really have to get hold of this situation somehow. Rare cancer diagnosis surge dramatically amongst millennials and Gen X. And we know why, guys, okay? We know exactly what it is, okay? It's this stuff right here, guys. So look at it. All right. I'm bathing in it now, so we're all used probably. All right. Some instances we can't do much about, but yeah. And there's another way. like shooting a woman by police at a Townsville pub. You know, I'm just finding there's a few things going on that could be looking a little bit suspect, guys. All right, well, we'll have to keep our eyes on it. Anyway, g'day, Spunky. How you going, darling? Good to hear you. Well, good to see you. Okay, Mick, come on in. So, guys, we've been out of Cully Bay. We've told you that. We've got some people down there that are supposedly going to get moved along on Friday. Some of these people have left already. Some of these people haven't. Some of these people have got a stay of execution. So I'd just like to introduce you to Mick, who's down there. I won't use his last name, but Mick's been down there for a little while. He's more or less the mayor of Cully Bay, I'd say, in the community's eyes. So, yeah, Mick, come on in and tell us, quickly what's going on there and where he's up to, mate. We've shown the people on the show what was going to go on. So what have you uncovered?
Well, just more lies. We've just been lied to by Scully, lied to by Homeless Hub. We're getting some signs together. Glenn, he sent me what he wants put on them. So yeah, we're going to do that, and we're just getting prepared. But I've also trying to get more legal advice, and we're getting a lot of people behind us. Our petitions, there's one that's 6,000, one that's I think they're over 600, another one's 600. I think we've probably got 500 written signatures, all support. We're getting people coming down and they're dropping food off every afternoon. Yeah, we got so much support, but Scully still goes with his rhetoric. Yeah. And
well, just on Scully, have you seen this? This is really, this is this is not Scully. I was thinking it was Chris Bowen. No, so I got them mixed up. That's for later on in the show. But
both have the same idiot shell. But anyway,
same bucket. Yeah. No, he's just dead set. There's a lot of people that are upset that we've got a safe haven for homeless here, and he's kicking us out. But I've looked into it a little bit, and it's like they're not ordering it. You know, it's not an order. I'll read it. It's a request. Okay? It's only a request. Compliance action request, camping and public land around Lake Illawarra. It's not an order. It's only a request. So, I'm looking into that on the legal side of it. But, we just need.
They can only request. They can only request because they don't have the power to authorise. That's why.
That's exactly right. Yeah. We just hopefully we'll have a lot of people down here to protest. We're trying to get as many as we can.
And that's this Friday at 9 a.m., Mick. Friday at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Yeah. Bring your signs. Bring yourself. And we're just going to fight. That's all. There's some people have been offered houses. Some people have taken them. Other people have been offered houses and they've been absolute crap. Like one guy was told, he's 82-year-old, that it was a 2-bedroom house in Huskerson. Gets down there, it's a 15-foot by 15-foot box with nothing in it. And they want him to sell his caravan. And like I said to him, I said, you sell your caravan, and if you get into private housing and they sell it out from underneath you, where are you going to go? You got nothing.
Yeah.
The poor bugger, he's just so disillusioned.
Yeah. And look, we got people like this all around the country, Mick. You know, we put it on the show here. You know, we we try and put out as much as what we can about what's going on out there, and this is just happening absolutely everywhere. But we got to stand on the ground. So anyone around the Wollongong region, if you can get there Friday about 9 a.m, guys, come on down to Cully Bay. Just look up Cully Bay Reserve or Cully Bay Car Park. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on King
King
Street,
Street, Warrawong. Across from Service New South
it's on the lake. So it's on the western side of the road, guys, on the lakeside. And we'd love to see you down there. Support these guys. And I'll be down there. I'll take a microphone and I'll get some film stuff. And we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, we've got to fight this because they start with us here. Then they end up in Maria. There's 200 homeless down in Maria or more. Then they'll start kicking people out around the parks and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's just, and where's the poor bastard going to go? Where are we going to go? Our situations are like we got to be here because we got doctor's appointments and all that. And the next place closest is 85 k's away. I can't afford to travel 85 k's back and forth, you know, for doctor's appointments and all that sort of stuff. And neither can anyone else here. You know, I've applied for 6 months, but you know, I'm going to ring him up tomorrow and get into him. Andrew Heathcote. Yeah.
Well, I'll be staying in touch with you, Mick. But I'd like to see everyone that can, guys, get down there on Friday morning, 9 a.m. Let's go and support them, okay? It could be you. It could be you next week, guys. You don't know. So if you can help out, please get down there and help out. Thanks, Mick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All
right. We've got heaps of news, and it's all very similar. First of all, shout out to Jack. Your profile is no longer recommended. So Jack's responded and let them know that warning the government has been infiltrated. And then the warning that she got was that, where is it? The decision, our technology found your content doesn't follow the community standards. How can it not follow the community standards when she's warning about the government being infiltrated? Like, isn't that the broader community?
And we just heard Carl went down on YouTube, guys. So Carl just got dropped too. So, suspended. So it looks like they'll be coming at us. Looks out. Let's see.
We'll see. All right, Renegade Rosie. She hit the chemist today.
Hello. What sort of vaccines are you doing now? Are you doing the flu and COVID combined?
Yeah.
And what else is with that? I hear you're doing 4-in-1, giving 4 injections. No. All right. Well, what is the research on combining the flu and COVID? Do you know?
It's clinically safe.
Says who? What's the long-term study? Because my mother wants to get it, and I'm not sure that's a good idea for someone who's 89. Hello.
COVID and flu together.
Yeah. What is the long-term safety data on that?
It's fine. You can have them at once. Just sometimes the next day you don't feel so good. That's all. But
really? Is that all?
Safety is fine. Yep.
What are the studies that have been done on it now? The combining of the two of them.
There's quite a few online, and you can get them at the same time. It's quite safe.
Has the TGA said that?
Yeah.
And there is evidence that it's fine?
Yeah, definitely fine. Yeah, just sometimes you can feel a bit sick the next day.
Right. And what about if it's your 7th COVID injection with flu?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many.
Doesn't matter how many now? Well, they just said that under 18 shouldn't have any. So how's it safe?
No, so with the over 75, you can have one every 6 months.
And you're quite sure it's absolutely safe? Terry White can confirm that?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's very interesting. All right, thank you very much.
Terry White, eh?
Terry White. How interesting is that? Well, we have a lot of interesting people in our movement. Another interesting person, you might recognise his voice. He was having a little chat to Chris Smith.
Chris, how are you?
Very well, thank you, mate.
All right, just once again, I did ring in on Friday, Chris, but I just wanted to get in, mate, and just ask the Australian people again, you know, do they actually understand what councils were actually brought in for, Chris? And that was to look after our rubbish and our roads, mate. But what we found is this Labor contingent And you know, two wings of the one bird here, Chris, but the Labor contingent is the one that is actually bringing in the New World Order directives over the people in their communities. And this is a big place that I feel the Australian people need to wake up, Chris. We need to win back our councils. We need to win back our schools, stop the pornographic shit, stop all the DEI, and get back to, you know, God's natural laws, you know, which were why we were put on this earth in the first place. So, you know, I just wonder if people actually understand, Chris, that council never had all this responsibility. They've given themselves the responsibility through the New World Order to bring on the tyranny that we are seeing now. Rapes, whatever else, it doesn't matter. It's all part of the design, Chris, is what I'd like to get to the Australian people to have a look at this.
Well, they should have a look at it and have a look at the individual councillors and who are the ones who spend their time pretending to be national and international diplomats and talking about international affairs and politics. Because I remember some inner city councils in Sydney who seem to be obsessed with international rules, whether Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. They're a local council, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, and when will people find out that Iraq never had weapons of mass destruction, Chris? You know, we've been lied to about so many things, like the LA riots. You know, we were never going to see them on the media, and I'm no Trump lover, don't get me wrong.
All right, Dave, I've got to go there. I've got...
Guys, everyone should make an appointment to ring Talkback Radio this week and just hammer them with a couple of facts. It's obviously a very effective. Yeah, so well done, Dave.
Yeah, no, I enjoy doing it. You know, there's not for long they'll have both numbers and they'll have me red flag. But anyway, until then, I'll keep going.
Okay, Scotty's done a thing on Metricon. It's a bit long, but if you go over to our website, it will be on there.
Australia's largest volume home builder. They do over 6,000 houses in Australia every single year. And this interview with the CEO, Brad Duggan, was absolutely fascinating.
How much do you really think prices have gone up over the last 3 or 4 years?
I can tell you, like from, you know, it's like for like house from 2019 to 2025 would be about 50%. Now, like for like's not really relevant anymore because people can't afford those houses. So, you know, what people were looking for a 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom, double story. Now looking for 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, single story. You're seeing a big decrease in contract values.
Big decrease in contract values, as well as the size of the house itself with less bedrooms. But you're paying more for it, a lot more for it. 50% would be conservative. So, Brad, how do you feel about cost plus contracts?
I couldn't sleep at night knowing that I'm paying cost plus in terms of arrangement because things could change quite quickly. So that alone, regardless about any other price differential.
This is not a hit piece on Metricon. Metricon have a place in the Australian building industry that's really important, especially for providing homes. But let's not forget that it was Metricon who cancelled hundreds and hundreds of fixed price building contracts in 2023 when it looked like they were about to lose a shit ton of money and collapse.
It can obviously compromises in what we're getting in terms of the size of the home, and maybe that's a good thing, right?
Look, we'll leave that there, but the full report is over on the website. Yeah. So.
They are crushing the economy very, very quick, Caz. We are not seeing what they're doing now, and all of a sudden the roof's going to come down. Anyway.
Well, exactly right. Look, this one is actually from Melbourne. This is the price.
I'll just answer Humphrey. Phone number for 2SM guy. It's 131269.
All right, Melbourne Butcher.
So we've got some steak here at the Cran Market. Look at this one here, MB4 Scotch fillet, free range and pasture fed black. Free range and pasture fed black Angus steak, $99.90 a kilo. Oh, thank you, sir.
$99 a kilo.
Wow. It's so outrageous. It's just, yeah. But anyway,
What do I have?
It's $54 in here.
Yeah, I just
for
put
a kilo.
Yeah, I just put nice steak like that in slow cooker for today actually, and that was $55. Yeah, kilo.
Well,
yeah.
we've got more machete attacks, but don't worry because they're going around harassing now the people who are selling them.
Retailers are being inspected a day since Victoria outlawed the sale of machetes. But the government's been accused of robbing Peter to pay Paul after revealing not a single new officer has been hired for the crackdown. Mark Santamartino reports.
Machete sales have been banned for 2 weeks, but they're still being used in attempted robberies and still being advertised on eBay.
On here, I can get a machete delivered to me by this Friday.
But actually buying one may not be so simple.
One of the things that eBay has assured us that they've put in place is geo-blocking technology.
Consumer Affairs Victoria told Victoria's Parliamentary Accounts and Estimates Committee it is confident that the technology is blocking sales at checkout. In less than 10 days, its task force has completed more than 350 inspections, 70 online and 280 in store.
330 machete inspections already?
So you're right, it is a lot. We have to be really mindful that you can have small but equally dangerous sales occurring in places like local markets.
It's too little too late because we've seen machetes being available.
Oh,
No, you can bring in enough immigrants, right, and pay them, right, and coerce them to do bad things. So obviously they're going to pick up whatever is the biggest weapon they can get, which happens to be a machete, you know, like. But yeah, you go chasing down all the machetes. Watch them, but they could attack you at any time.
And here we have an Islamic sanctuary being built in Melbourne, and it is going to have it's multi-billion dollars, but they probably need them because there's an extra 26,500 visas from Afghan citizens, and Afghans are mainly Islamic. So it's just, they're just, what can we say?
You know, over in England, I think I sent you a clip on it, but I think they done a consensus on schools and that, Caz. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I haven't pulled it in for the show, but I actually do have another one that's really interesting. Well, this guy reckons that he's in receipt of a document. Let's have a look at it.
This is serious now, guys. I'm in receipt of a document which states that by 2030 there is to be a 50% reduction in farmed animals, and by 2050 100% zero farm animal system in place. And guess who has signed up to that? Yes, the two biggest arseholes in the world, Starmer and Bill Gates. What more proof?
I'd like to see that document.
Well, we know what to do.
No, I don't doubt it. But yeah, but the one that you sent me was about the children that, like, there's no white children in 75 schools in the UK.
Yeah,
so
English children, it is like something like 12% of the education department. I think I'm giving that a bit of grace, actually. 12% English kids, guys, in the system. Unbelievable.
Well, that's right. Look, there is some good news that your mates, the truckers who started off the trucking convoy, has just got his truck back.
Oh, in Canberra.
All right, everyone. I'm standing here at an Ottawa police compound where we're about to retrieve some personal property that was seized shortly after the Freedom Convoy. Today is June 9th, 2025, and it has been 1,136 days since Mr. Blanchfield had his truck and his friend's home right here taken away by the government. Why, you might ask? Well, according to the Crown, this truck was supposedly instrumental in both the Freedom Convoy and Rolling Thunder protests in 2022. Just months ago, the Crown filed a forfeiture application arguing that the truck should be permanently seized based on Mr. Blanchfield's wrongful conviction for mischief, or in other words, for engaging in peaceful protest. We fought back, highlighting the absurdity of stripping a man of his ability to earn a living, and successfully challenged their weak arguments and case law. In the end, we won. So here we are today, finally reclaiming the truck. It's a bittersweet moment, but it is a victory nonetheless. Norman, you want to say something?
Anyway,
let's
so
hope we
look,
can
well
get
done.
Paul's truck back for him. Yeah, let's hope Paul gets the same thing, mate.
Yeah, that's it. You know, and I bought it in before, but you've got this report by Steve Malloy that this is from NOAA. So there's been no global warming in the US since 2012. So none. And you've got this crazy asked Bowen, and he's killing koalas because he needs to put wind turbines there.
Listen, we got a marine park down here off the coast, you know, where you can't do this and you can't do that, but they got a drone rig out there looking at putting the windmills in. But we can't fish there.
Well, yeah. It's just unreal, isn't it? Like, you know, and look, I just I missed this one before. Let me just bring it in now. Just with regards to so this is the Japanese, and they were going to receive 3,000 Kurds. Now, remember, Japan does not allow people to immigrate, so they actually they relented and they've allowed in 3,000 Kurds, and there was a massive protest from the Japanese people because they actually they value their culture and they actually want to preserve it.
Mate, what do you say? We want to conserve ours too, but I tell you, if we start going like England, guys, 12%, I think the figure was. We'll do it tomorrow night maybe, but yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, that's it,
All
isn't
bodies
it?
on.
And I forgot to bring this in with the vote. I'm not on my game tonight. Sorry, guys. I'm a bit all over the place. Anyway, but look, this is RFK. He sacked the entire US vaccine committee, you know.
Yep.
So I think that is just absolutely brilliant. There were 17 of them, I believe, which is an interesting number.
Western Sydney's got its first 15-minute city airports just been opened up. Albo went and checked it out today. Old Flybus Albo, because he'll be looking at taking a few flights in and out of there, that's for sure. So he's checked it out. But yeah,
of course he
15-minute
has.
city going on out there, guys.
Because he has. I'm going to bring in the flyers a bit early because I've got a lot of stuff on what's going on in the States. So just hang on for a minute, guys. And the Mondays at Maggies crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. This affects every worker and every business. New South Wales under a corrupt government. Enough is enough. We won't stay silent and we demand action. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And on Mondays, don't forget Mondays at Maggies, the Frank and Charles podcast. They will be hitting the streets this week. Mondays at Maggies. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And the FUCCP page is up and running. Freedom Unites Cairns to Canberra Parade. The first leg is on Friday to Sunday, Townsville to Toowoomba, 27th to the 29th of June. The second leg will be Friday to Sunday, the 4th to the 6th of July, from Toowoomba to Canberra. And there will be a Stop the Chemtrailing March. Gather at Hyde Park Fountain in Sydney at 12 p.m. on Saturday the 21st of June 2025 and march to the Governor's House from Hyde Park at 1 p.m. with guest speakers with open mic, so come along and have your say. And Dissection has more news and awards and finalists in the following festivals. Documentaries Without Borders Film Festival on September the 14th. It is official selection. Impact Docs Awards, California, USA official selection for Best Documentary finalist, which will be on August the 12th, 2025. And the White Rose International Film Festival in Yorkshire, UK. Official selection for Best Documentary finalist, Best Cinematography runner-up. That date is on August 9th, 2025. And in the vein of Sun Tzu, Know Thy Enemy, the Anti-Corruption Academy is hosting an event on Saturday the 21st of June 2025. The venue will be at the Rocky Sports Club, 1 Lion Creek Road, Wandell, Rockhampton, 8 a.m. for an 8:30 start to 5 p.m. approximately. The cost is $45 and this includes morning tea. Lunch will be on order at the bistro. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance. lest we forget. A daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X, Melissa 146233923.
All right. Yeah, well done, guys. Get out there, get into it. And, yeah, we've got a few more awards with the witness statement as well. So there you go. You know, you good people who've shared that around. It's got a lot of publicity now. So things are going really good, guys. Don't forget to get it out there. Get our website out there. Don't stop. All right. This is our time now. One by one, people are waking.
Yeah, we have a lot of interesting stuff going on in the United States, and it's all very related to the Q News and the Q Drops.
I'm going to go make strawberry scones, but when we talked about how this thing that was going on in Los Angeles was paid agitators, this is what I meant. I remember back when the Black Lives Matter riots were happening as well, they had very similar Craigslist ads looking for the toughest badasses in the city of Los Angeles, seeking extremely tough, brave men for a new crew on building. Compensation is $6,500 to $125,000 per week. Get paid every week, no matter what. Physical strength needed, mental toughness, ready for confrontation when necessary. However, we train you if necessary. Bravery, reliability, strength, team discipline. They'd like you to have military experience, but if you're a Marine, then they do not want you in their group because it's apparently a long story. Job title is listed as operator, and there's no experience required, and it's contracted work. And they were looking in the greater Los Angeles area. Obviously, they're not going to tell you exactly what it's for. Wait for you to call and then explain it. This is what happened during the Black Lives Matter riots, is they would put out these Craigslist ads, and then all these people would call, and then they would recruit all these people to go be agitators at these events. They would turn what was initially a peaceful protest of just marching into a full-blown riot, and that's the very same thing that's happening here. Who can afford that kind of bankroll? Well, NoKings.org can. Apparently, this whole thing has been planned for a really long time. They're trying to get more in different days on different states. Specifically, June 14th seems to be a pretty big hot button. They're looking at Phoenix, Atlanta, and a handful of other major cities. You can go to the map on the website and just take a look. Here's some of the organizations that they're working with, and there's a lot of them, but I'm going to go through a couple. There's Bend the Arc, which is Jewish Action. Bernie Sanders, which I don't know. Americans United, Blue Anchor, Cast, Demlist, Families Over Billionaires, Faithful America, Fair Share America, Face the Music, Federal Workers Against Doge, Fun Federal Unionist Network, The Feminist Majority, Bulletproof Pride, Catholics Vote Common Good, Care in Action, Center for Common Ground. I mean, there's tons of them. That's who's paying for it. This has been in the works for a really long time. That should be really nothing new to you. But here's what I will say, okay, with all the paid agitators and all the things going on, there are going to be very real people who believe this is a very real march for justice that are going to be boots on the ground down there thinking that they're doing something. So if you, your family, your friends are thinking about getting together and heading down there and sticking it to the man, don't. Because all of those paid agitators, they have protection, right? They'll get lawyers,
We'll leave it there, but what's interesting about that is that this plan was put in place a long time ago, and it was actually by Tony Podesta. He was the one who funneled all of the money. So the Biden administration realized when Trump had won, what they were going to do is they were funneling massive amounts of money. This is why Elon has basically come out and said that he lost 25% of his fortune during his quest to cut government funding. Okay, he said it's totally worth it. So then what's happened is they've channeled all of that through all of that. It looks like has been channeled through those various channels, that massive amount, like we're talking billions and billions and billions of dollars.
And we get
So
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of containers at Walmarts, different car parks around cities, guys. It's they're planning it, man. Look out.
they are. And also what they've done is they've got they have they've even put out the flyers. Look at this clip.
Is all this? What is all this, bro? What to do in a riot?
What to do in a riot. So, and of course we saw the Australian girl. Now I want to show you the power of social media, and when you post stuff, guys, this is really important. Okay, so Sky News has actually picked up on Anthony Calouf's work. Now, Anthony Calouf was the first person who was arrested in Australia, and he was actually jailed for a period of time. Anyway, he basically identified this girl, okay, with these tweets. Hang on, just let me grab them. All right, so these are her tweets. Her name is Lauren Tomasi, and during the time when the Melbourne people were shot, she put out this tweet. Next man up is a 60-year-old freelance photographer, allegedly with no mask. He is accused of shoving an officer in the chest. His lawyer argues he was there not to partake in protest, but to photograph. He is not regarded as an essential worker, and bail has been granted. She later followed it up with, I must say these accused protesters are very meek and mild in their handcuffs today. No screaming about fake news and fake viruses today, folks. So that was her a few years ago, but she didn't report on that. She did not report. Babylon B are really awesome at taking the, basically taking the mickey. Yeah. And they've actually put this out. Support for police skyrockets after they start shooting journalists. Now, what's happened, though, is it's also developed into riots. And actually, Babylon B again came out with this one. Amazon creates online looting app to allow the timid to loot from home.
I wonder how many left Democrats will say that up.
This is the website that they're all going to. In America, we don't do Kings. We rise on the 14th of June. Now that is really interesting. A lot of this stuff that's coming out now ties into the futurist technology and also into the Q drops as well. And then you have this case here of this is the ad that's paid for by this lady who is Christy Walton. And she is the woman behind the June 14th insurrection, which is no kings. Rich people funding poor people to retaliate against laws and policy to ensure her palace is not inconvenienced by the overhead costs and regulations that come with hiring American citizens. Now, Donald Trump put this out, and he said, "Look, looking really bad in LA. Bring in the troops." And it's just as well he called for it because now they're actually firing shots. So the insurrectionists are actually firing at police. So this is what it is. So
what
very
they were going to do.
It is. Now, I just have to credit Anthony with this. He runs Australians versus the Agenda, and he goes, yesterday, Australian journalist Lauren Tomasi was shot with a rubber bullet while covering the protest in Los Angeles. This is the same journalist who celebrated when I was in prison for helping to organise the anti-lockdown protests during COVID. I'd like to extend my personal thanks to the Los Angeles Police Department for their service. But this is where it gets really interesting because there was a big relationship with the Q drops and the expectation that this would happen before as a result or as an introduction into martial law. And it was a number of cities which they are actually aiming to include in the riots. And what's interesting as well is the judge has just ruled that T-Man is fine to actually to do it. Oh, yeah.
California's request to stop Trump from using the California National Guard to keep the peace and keep order during these protests. CNN's Elena Treen is at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where President Trump is speaking. And Elena, that's a big development, the judge denying California's request. Tell us about that, and tell us what the president has been saying in his Fort Bragg speech.
So, now what's interesting is then then so Trump ended up sending in the Marines. Here they are.
From 29 Palms, as about a dozen white transport buses, presumably filled with hundreds of deployed Marines, left the 29 Palms military base tonight. These are combat troops who the Pentagon says have been trained in de-escalation and the rules of the use of force. They're headed toward Los Angeles.
So they're mainly targeting Democrat cities, and in the Q drops it was talking about that. And Trump's parody account actually hinted at the My Fellow Americans. Now, what's interesting about that as well is the futurist technology, which is future forecasting groups. These are the people who remote viewed. They actually saw this. It's 6/25, and they saw the city in smoke, people in the streets, violent demonstrations, boiling over, protesters removed. So they actually they saw that coming. And Cliff High's webbots likewise produced. Note, the most of the release language for June's military is military related. Much of the building tension language for late June and July is coming out of sets that contain drone attacks as well. So we haven't actually seen that yet, but that will be interesting to follow. And then on top of that, now I've always thought the EBS wouldn't happen. However, what do you think of this?
Braver than me. You will fight, 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 and you will win, win, win. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our...
Anything is possible. We have all scenarios, guys. Which one gets played? Be ready.
Well, that's exactly right. So that's it. We're actually going to honour the Marines. They're worshipping God. That's our outro, Dave. So if you'd like to make, we're almost at time. If you'd like to wrap up the show and say anything, because I basically rambled on a bit there. But anyway, if you'd like to close the show.
Yeah, look, I see Ryan Park in the crap again over all his promises about this in health and that and the other guys. Stay on his case. Stay on Scully's case. Stay on his wife, Alison Burns, Scully's case, right? The Labor contingents here in the Illawarra. All right, you people of the Illawarra push. Have a think about, guys, getting some cars ready for Jody Singh so we can meet up the top of the mountain here, get some stuff done. All right, keep activated. All right, there's plenty to do. Pick something that interests you and get into it, guys. All right, because there is plenty out there. Right, keep the witness statement going. Keep the cease and desist going. Keep the website sharing going. Right, just get it out there. The amount of people, it's just getting more and more people coming past looking at the A-frame we got on the boat, guys. More and more people all the time. They want to know. All right, so let's get out there and let them know. Good night, folks. Thank you again.
Thank you.